And it is now my great honor to introduce the President-elect of the United States of America, Joe Biden.
There was a Trump rally yesterday at Lowe's. It was a gathering so they could have a Trump parade, and they rode through town with their flags. And oh look, there's one now. I do believe Columbia is a Democratic county. They were blue last time in the election for Hillary and Trump. They were blue, along with city of St. Louis and Kansas City. But I think that those people who came from like the neighboring surrounding small towns like Hallsville, Centralia, they gathered here to do that. We need somebody who believes in the science and is going to create policy to keep the people safe. The people obviously aren't smart enough to keep themselves safe, so they need some guidelines. As a teacher, I feel like, what would my classroom be without guidelines? I still give people the autonomy to do things when it's safe for them, but any smart person knows, like, give people a set of guidelines and things to follow. We give guidelines on everything else, the speed limit, we give guidelines on, you know, you gotta pay your taxes, or you do, like, why can't we give the people guidelines on how to keep themselves and other people safe? They think that it's infringing on their freedom. But I argue this, well, I might want to go down this road at 80 miles per hour, but I might hit somebody and it won't be safe, right? So I don't have a right to do that.
ISIS is honoring President Obama. He is the founder of ISIS. He's the founder of ISIS. Okay? He's the founder. He founded ISIS. And I would say the co-founder would be crooked Hillary Clinton.
Oh, throw him the hell out of here. Am I allowed to rip that whistle out of the mouth? I'd rip that. Go home to mommy. I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. I don't throw babies out, believe me. I love babies.
Actually, I was only kidding. You can get the baby out of here.
They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. Today is November 3rd. There is almost triple the number of voters in Colombia this year. There's like an enormous amount of more people voting than there was in the 2016 election. So that's good. There's like a lot more young voters and millennials voting. So that's really cool. So we're just about to get all ready and bundled up to go to the polls.
I feel good about it because, you know, I'm a first-time voter and my voice matters. I feel like the country now is just going downhill because of our other personnel. I do think it's important to vote because if you do not vote, that means your voice is not being heard. And for me, as a young person, I always believe showing other young people to vote, then it'll give them some encouragement to vote.
Oh my gosh, look at the line of cars. It's never been like this. I'm just gonna park right here. I don't know where he thinks he's going, but we're gonna just take what we can get.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
Do you think it should be legal in the state of Indiana to discriminate against gays or lesbians?
George,
It's a yes or no question.
come on. Profile of the vice president published in The New Yorker, the author reported on a meeting where President Trump joked that Pence, quote, wants to hang gay people.
Madam Speaker, I come before the House today in strong opposition to the Employment Non-Discrimination Act to prohibit employment discrimination based on sexual orientation.
We are about to vote. The line is really long. We've never seen it this long. But like I said, the amount of voters that voted in 2016 has tripled in 2020. So there's going to be a lot more voting, a lot more people voting this year. And we're going to get a closer look up at the scene of where people are waiting.
Voting is kind of the main tool of the people to kind of affect positive change or the changes they want to see in government. So to the extent that they can, this is their influence. So voting is pretty important.
I feel it's very important. For me personally, the last 4 years have been kind of terrifying under our current leaders, and I'm excited to get to share my voice for the first time. The biggest thing for me at the moment is I'm trying to plan a wedding with my fiance, who is a man, and I feel like right now more than ever that right is being threatened, and so I think this is a very important election for me personally on that note.
Okay, Nadia, how did you feel?
I feel great. I'm a proud voter. See that? Coming close. I vote. That's what you guys should be doing.
All right, Mom, so you just voted. How did you feel?
We're back in Philadelphia tonight.
Tonight, an army of counters in Pennsylvania racing to process millions of mail-in ballots that could decide the race in the crucial battleground state first. But now that mountain of early mail-in votes being tabulated, mostly from the Democratic strongholds of Philadelphia, its suburbs, and Allegheny County. President Trump won Pennsylvania in 2016 by just 44,000 votes, less than 1%. This state now crucial in his path to re-election.
Ever, with more than 70 million in counting.
Go, Joe.
President Trump now launching an all-out legal blitz, trying to freeze the ballot count. Battleground of Pennsylvania.
Insane, y'all.
In Michigan, chaos breaking out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, these people crazy.
One of the counting locations.
Stop the count.
Stop the count.
Well, it seems like to be counterproductive for him to stop the count, whatever. You need them to keep counting to see if you may pull it out, right? It don't seem like... Traveling right now as a black woman. I don't feel safe. Right now, Joe Biden is winning, so I feel like a lot of Trump supporters are ready to retaliate. And I mean, I was getting a couple weird looks by some older white people.
Good morning, it's Friday the 6th of November. Our top story today, President Donald Trump has insisted he has won the US presidential election, even though votes are still being counted.
In his first public address since the early hours of Wednesday morning, Mr. Trump complained about voter fraud without providing any evidence.
It's now down to a handful of key states, but current figures show Joe Biden is edging closer to the White House with 253 electoral votes compared to Trump's 214. They need 270 to claim victory.
He didn't sound like a president confident of victory. Instead, Donald Trump appeared in the White House to denigrate America's electoral process and make a slew of unfounded claims about voting and fraud.
If you count the legal votes, I easily win. If you count the illegal votes, they can try to steal the election from us. We think there's going to be a lot of litigation because we have so much evidence, so much proof, and it's going to end up perhaps at the highest court in the land.
There is no evidence of postal voting fraud. And in Georgia, a state Donald Trump must win to have a chance of taking the White House, his early lead has been shrinking fast as mail-in ballots are processed. In Pennsylvania, a state with 20 electoral college votes, Donald Trump's election night lead has been eroded too. The Trump campaign has filed a lawsuit to press for closer scrutiny of the ballot counting process.
Biden was the worst candidate in history. And he probably feels...
Okay, so I just woke up in Georgia and Pennsylvania are blue, baby!
Joe Biden saying, I am honored and humbled by the trust the American people have placed in me and in Vice President-elect Harris. In the face of unprecedented obstacles, a record number of Americans voted, proving once again that democracy beats deep in the heart of America. He goes on to say, with the campaign over, it's time to put the anger and the harsh rhetoric behind us and come together as a nation. It's time for America to unite and to heal. He concludes by saying, we are the United States of America, and there's nothing we can't do if we do it together.
And it is now my great honor to introduce the President-elect of the United States of America,